everybody, I'm Kimberly of Happy Gals Vintage. Thanks for tuning into our Happy Gals Vintage channel today and tuning in to watch our newest video. Today's video is a lot of fun because I'm going to talk about vintage teacups, and really this is just a shop update. I wanted to share with you some of the cool new, well, they're not new, they're vintage. They're new to Happy Gals Vintage though. Some teacups that we've recently added to our shop that I think you will really enjoy. And I had a couple more that I was really excited to show everyone on YouTube, but they already sold. So, but I'm not complaining. That's a good problem to have. That is what we are in the business of doing, is selling vintage teacups and other vintage items. And if you're interested in our shop, please do go to the description below this video and you'll see a link, and you can click right on that link. It'll take you right into the Happy Gals Vintage shop, and you can see all the other amazing vintage items that we have available right now. So let's take a look at these teacups that I have in front of me right here. I'm going to start with this pretty little one. It features red roses. And I love the design of this one because it's sort of a kind of a rounded, softer style of teacup. And it's bone china, and it's by Royal Dover. So Royal Dover is an English porcelain company, very well known. And this teacup is just in excellent condition. Has, you know, it's kind of a classic teacup, but a little different because of the roundness of the actual form of the teacup. But that is the first one here that I wanted to share with you. Now this next one doesn't have a maker on the bottom, but it is one of the most unique teacups I think I've ever had in Happy Gals Vintage. And when I found it, I was really pleasantly surprised. It is a lusterware teacup, so I'm thinking it was probably made in Japan in the 1950s, is my guess. And the fun thing about it is the design features pineapples and plums and pink tropical flowers, and the color is this like really very light violet, which is really unique in a teacup also. And it's very fancy. It has a scalloped sort of edging around the saucer and a kind of a fluted, just softly fluted top to the teacup. Just a little foot with the gold detailing all around and a really fancy handle. So there's so many unique things that come together in this teacup, unique design elements that you don't always see together. So I just think this is a really fun teacup, and for someone it's going to be a wonderful addition to their collection. Got some serious sunshine coming in through my window all of a sudden in my face. Now this next teacup is Yellow Roses. And this one is by Royal Windsor. It's another fine bone china teacup from England. And yellow roses are nice because the yellow rose stands for friendship, and they're just so beautiful, yellow roses, and unique. And we see a lot of red roses and pink roses, but not always yellow rose teacups. And this one is just done so nicely. Has such a romantic feeling to the design. And again, this is kind of a very classic style of teacup, but there's a reason why it's classic. It's because people love it, and it's very functional. Now here is another teacup that does not have a maker, I believe, on the bottom. Obviously it had a maker, someone made it, but they didn't put their name on the bottom of the teacup. So we aren't sure, although I can tell you that this is a 1940s probably teacup, maybe even 1930s, 30s to 40s. And again, we've got a lusterware, very sort of light lusterware finish in a soft, soft pink with lots of gold detailing and gold roses, which, you know, a lot of times on a teacup you'll have gold detailing like around the rim, around the edges, or even on the handle on some particularly fancy teacups. But to actually have gold in the design of the actual flowers is very unique. You don't see that very often, and they did it so nicely on this particular saucer and this particular teacup. And I love that it is footed, which is always fun. It makes them fancier. And again, here we have a really interesting handle that is quite ornate, that just gives the whole teacup a really kind of royal air. But the soft pink is nice and unique to see in a lusterware. Often you'll have pink lusterware teacups, but they're a brighter pink than this. So that one's very pretty. The last teacup that I wanted to share with you today is a hand-painted teacup, and I believe that if I had to guess, I would say it was made in Japan. It looks very much like a Japan-created teacup, but the painting is just done particularly well. It's just very nice. Whoever the artist was who hand painted this teacup really knew what they were doing. And it's just gorgeous. And you know, the hand painting is in the inside of the teacup, down inside, and clearly no one over the years used this teacup to actually drink any tea or anything out of, because that hand painting inside there would have gotten some kind of marking, or you know, it would have gotten messed up somehow. But it's not. It's perfect inside the bottom of the teacup. And then the hand painted flowers continue. It's the pink and purple sort of rose style flowers that go all the way around, and then all this really fancy ornate gold sort of scrolled detailing that also goes around with the flowers. And it's so delicate and so nicely done. And this teacup and saucer are in really nice condition, although the saucer has a tiny little, let's see if I can find it, tiny little chip on the bottom, little flaw that really, when it's on display, I don't think anyone would ever notice or see it. And then another tiny little chip in the base of the saucer. But other than that, the rest of the set, the cup, is just in excellent condition. And you know, it's always a little sad when these older vintage items have those little flaws like that. But to be honest, when a piece is this beautiful and overall this well taken care of and just looks so nice on display, it doesn't matter that much. Although, in my Happy Gals Vintage shop, I always let you know exactly what you're purchasing. So if there are any flaws on any of the vintage items that I'm selling, you're going to know about it. I'm going to tell you exactly what they are. You're going to have nice close-up photographs of the flaw, whatever it is, so that you know exactly what you're purchasing. And I think that's really important. I know that myself, I want to be an informed buyer. I want to know what it is I'm spending my money on. And you know, with older vintage or even especially antique items, which are 100 years older, 100 years old or older, you're going to expect that probably at some point, especially in porcelain or glass, there may be a flaw, some tiny little, you know, nick or chip that happened along the way, but not always. But it's kind of to be expected sometimes when you are collecting especially older vintage items and antique items. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video about the vintage teacups that I've recently added to our Happy Gals Vintage shop. And I hope again that you will check out the link in the description below this video to go and check out even more awesome vintage items from our Happy Gals Vintage shop, and antique items as well. And there's also in the description below this video, there's links to my other 2 Etsy shops. I have a shop called Crystal Wand Maker and a shop called Elements 5, and there are some amazing handmade items in those shops, and crystals and handmade jewelry and art and just a lot of fun stuff. So be sure not to miss out on those either. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you will like this video. Click the little like button at the bottom of the video. It helps out the channel, it helps out my businesses. And also, please subscribe if you want to watch more videos about vintage items and more videos about teacups. I like to make videos about teacups because I love teacups. And I really want to thank you for watching today, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day.